Curt Flood played baseball 1956 through 1971. Ken R's on here, Vista, California. I'm looking at Thursday, December the 4th, 2025. Curt Flood, interesting guy in baseball history. He ended up 293 career batting average, 1,861 hits, 15 years, 1,759 games. So more than a hit a game. Had some nice seasons in the big leagues. Played with Cincinnati, and then he went to the Cardinals. And then played a little bit with the Washington Nationals. Is that right? Let me see here. Clicking on the team. Washington Senators, 1971. So let's see. Good hitter. I'm going to count the 300 batting average seasons. See, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 6 300 batting average seasons. His high, 335. So he can hit. Runs scored seasons. He had 100. Had 112 in 1963. RBIs, not an RBI producer. His high was 83. But hits in a season, he was good. He had a nice stretch from 1961. Let's see. No, 1962, 63, 64, and 65. 66, 67, 68. Nice stretch right here. Listen to the hit totals. 188, 200, 211, back-to-back 200 hit seasons. 191, 167, 172, 186, 173. So solid hitter. Had a 322 average, a 302, 311, 310, 335, and 301. But Curt Flood is remembered in history for the reserve clause fight that he had. He didn't like it. During the 60s and 70s, if a player wanted to be traded to another team or stop playing for his team and play for another one, the owner can void it and say, hey, you're my property. It's almost like slaves. Curt Flood was disappointed after the 1969 season. He wanted a raise. He wanted to make $90,000 a year. And the owner of the Cardinals at the time said, no, you're my property. You stay with me. So Curt Flood said, hey, I want to get some offers from another team. The owner said no. So Curt Flood took the case to court. He went all the way up to the Supreme Court and said, I do not like the reserve clause. I need to get out so I could sign with another team. So he lost. He lost that fight in the Supreme Court. But later on, I think 5 or 10 years later, then the Supreme Court changed their mind and got rid of the reserve clause. And now in baseball, a player can sign with another team. But at that time of Curt Flood, couldn't do it. He was so angry. So after the 1969 season, had a good year. He had 173 hits, 285 average. He requested that raise in contract. He didn't get it, and he was really upset. So he went to the Supreme Court and said, I do not like the reserve clause. And he lost the case. So what did he do? In 1970, he sat out the whole year. Didn't play. He did come back in 1971 and played for the Washington Senators after 1 year not playing. Only got into 40 games and batted 200. So at the age of 33, Curt Flood was out of baseball, did not play again. Was he right at that time? I don't know, because a lot of players, they didn't stand with him. From what I read in history, some players did not fight along with Curt Flood at the time. They just kind of kept their stance. And the owners, I some of them, I think most of them wanted the reserve club. They wanted to keep players. They didn't want players bouncing around the league so much. What do I think? I think by getting rid of the reserve clause, it's good in one sense where a player can go to another team. I don't mind that. But you know what I don't like? Is players bouncing around the league from team to team to team to team. And in their career, they play 8 or 9 teams. I don't like that. I like guys who stay with their same club their entire career. Brooks Robinson and Carl Yastrzemski played with the same team for 23 straight years. I like it. Whereas other guys, they play for 8 or 9 teams in their career. I don't like that. So the reserve clause, treating the player like a slave, I don't like that. But for players to keep bouncing around the league, no good for me. So Curt Flood at that time, he probably should have just stayed with the Cardinals and taken the salary that he had. For him to take the case to the Supreme Court stained his reputation. Was he right? Yes, you don't want to be treated like a slave. But at that time, that's what baseball had in their rules. If I was Curt Flood, I wouldn't have taken that case to the Supreme Court. I would have signed the contract, keep playing with the Cardinals. He was only 31 years old. But he got so mad that he wanted to play for another club. That's hard to do if you're going up against the owners at that time. Interesting case, Curt Flood in baseball history. He was a good hitter. He had 2 seasons in a row, 200 hits. He had a 191 hit season, had a 188 hit season, and a 186 hit season. This guy can hit. His high batting average, 322. No, he had a 335 also. All right, we're done with Curt Flood. He ends up 293 career batting average, 1,861 hits. Stopping at age 33. If he had played to age 40, he may have been a 2,500 hit guy. He may have been that much. All right, we're done with him. Who's next on the list? All right, I've got some no names. So I'm going to combine, in the next video, I'm going to combine probably 3 or 4 guys. And then I'll keep going. When I find guys who have some accomplishments, I'll devote a video just for that ball player. But if there are guys that are just kind of no names, what do I mean? Never heard of them, and they don't have much accomplishments, I'm going to combine them in a video. So I think that's coming up in the next video. I think I've got a guy named Louis Polonia. I've got Debs Garms, Pinky Hinkins, Birdie Cree, and Del Pratt. I think I'm going to combine all those guys in one video. Talk to you later. I'm out.